Viewers, something unbelievable has just happened on the streets of Burkina Faso. A scene so extraordinary that it has shaken the entire world. Millions of goats were released, all at once. And this was not the act of ordinary farmers. It was done directly under the orders of President Ibrahim Traoré himself. Yes, the same Ibrahim Traoré who freed Burkina Faso from the chains of slavery. Now he is leading an agricultural revolution that has stunned not only Africa, but also analysts and experts across Europe and America. But the question is, why were so many goats released on the streets? Is this just about farming, or is there a hidden, secret purpose behind it? Let's uncover the full truth in this story. If we look at Burkina Faso today, it might seem like just another small African country, but the reality is much deeper. For decades, this land remained under the control of Western powers, especially France, which dominated its politics, economy, and even its military. Burkina Faso's natural resources, gold, uranium, and fertile lands, were all controlled by foreign companies. The people worked hard, but the profits always went abroad. That's why poverty, hunger, and instability became a way of life here. Farmers worked like slaves on their own lands, yet they earned so little that they couldn't even feed their children. All of this was part of a carefully planned system, a system designed to keep Burkina Faso forever dependent on the West. But then came Ibrahim Traoré. When he rose to power, he made a bold decision to break those chains once and for all. Standing before his people, he declared, "We will use our own resources. We will no longer live as slaves." That sentence was not just a declaration, it was the beginning of a new history. Ibrahim Traoré understood something powerful. The true strength of a nation doesn't lie in its weapons or its army, it lies in its food and agriculture. Because a nation that depends on others for its food can never truly be free. This belief pushed him to take an extraordinary step, to lead Burkina Faso toward an agricultural revolution. And for that purpose, his government carried out something the world had never seen before, and the operation that would go down in history. In just one single day, millions of goats were distributed across towns and villages. Yes, millions of goats loaded on trucks, moving in convoys from one region to another, and then released into open fields and streets. Those who witnessed the sight said it looked like a sea of goats flowing over the land. Roads were covered with them. The sound of their hooves echoed through the fields, and villagers watched in astonishment as the moment unfolded before their eyes. But then came the question, what was the real purpose behind this massive and mysterious act? But was this only about providing food? Or was there a much bigger vision hidden behind it? In truth, this was not just a project about spreading goats. It was a mega economic plan. You see, goats are often seen as small, ordinary animals, but in reality, they play a powerful role in driving an entire economy. Goat meat is among the most consumed meats in the world. Its milk is full of nutrients, its skin and wool fuel entire industries, and above all, goat farming is a business worth billions of dollars globally. That's why Ibrahim Traoré decided that goats should become the core engine of Burkina Faso's new economy. This national project revolves around three major goals. First goal, food independence. For a country like Burkina Faso, one of the greatest challenges is providing affordable and quality food for its people. Now, with millions of goats distributed across towns and villages, meat and milk will reach ordinary citizens more easily than ever before. Second goal, boosting local industries. As the goat population increases, so will the production of leather, wool, and dairy products. New factories and small industries will rise, creating thousands of jobs, reducing unemployment, and empowering local communities. Third goal, expanding exports. Traoré dreams of a day when Burkina Faso not only feeds its own people, but also exports meat and dairy to neighboring African and Gulf countries. If that happens, this small nation could soon become a major agricultural and economic powerhouse in Africa. Viewers, you might wonder, why release all these goats at once? The reason is simple but brilliant. Traoré didn't want this to remain a government policy hidden on paper. He wanted it to become a national movement. He wanted every citizen to see the change with their own eyes. When people saw the long convoys of goats flooding the streets, something changed inside them. A spark of belief lit up. Farmers saw hope. Young people saw new opportunities. And ordinary citizens saw the first signs of a new beginning. This scene also carried a powerful message to the West, a message to those nations that always claimed African countries couldn't stand on their own. But Ibrahim Traoré proved them wrong. By filling the streets with millions of goats, he showed that Burkina Faso is now walking firmly on the road to self-reliance. Western media mocked the act. Some called it a show, a publicity stunt. But the truth is, this was a carefully crafted strategy that will reshape Burkina Faso's economy for decades to come. Because these goats are not just for food, they are part of a complete economic chain. On one side, meat and milk will strengthen local markets. On the other, leather and wool will revive forgotten industries. And the foreign income from exports will lift the nation's economy to new heights. But more importantly, it will awaken a new sense of confidence among the people, that if they unite and work together, their nation can truly stand on its own feet. This, viewers, is the Goat Revolution, the movement that has given Burkina Faso a new identity on the world map. Ibrahim Traoré has sent a clear message to the world. Progress doesn't come only from skyscrapers and machines. It also comes from trusting your land, your people, and your animals. Today, the streets of Burkina Faso flow with a sea of goats. Tomorrow, that sea will turn into a river of prosperity. And the greatest success of this project is not just the release of millions of goats, but the creation of countless new opportunities for the people. Before this revolution, Burkina Faso's youth struggled to find homes, wandering the cities for small work, or dreaming of leaving the country. But now they are finding hope, right there, in their own soil. A new future is rising in Burkina Faso, a future built not on foreign aid or imported wealth, but on the backs of its own animals, its own people, and its own soil. When the government distributed goats to rural villages, something remarkable happened. Every farmer, no matter how small his land, was suddenly given a chance to transform his life. What once seemed like simple farming has now become a profitable business model. Small-scale farmers who could barely feed their families before are now earning double by selling goat milk and meat in local markets. Young people, once jobless and hopeless, have stepped into new professions, raising goats, cultivating fodder, processing milk into butter, cheese, and yogurt. In short, an entire agricultural chain has come to life, a system that now supports hundreds of families and gives work to thousands. But the transformation didn't stop in the villages. In the cities, too, new industries are rising. Small factories are now producing yogurt, cheese, and other dairy products from goat milk. Local craftsmen are making shoes and bags from goat leather. Even export companies have begun freezing and packaging goat meat to sell to international markets. And what's most beautiful is that all of this is being powered by local youth. The same young men and women who once dreamed of leaving their homeland for jobs abroad are now finding purpose, prosperity, and pride right here in Burkina Faso. For the people, Ibrahim Traoré is no longer just a president, he has become a symbol of salvation. For decades, Western powers extracted wealth from the soil of Burkina Faso, leaving its people poor and dependent. But for the first time, a national project is directly benefiting the people, not corporations, not outsiders, but the farmers, the workers, and the youth of the land. Now, young people are beginning to believe that after finishing their education, they don't need to wander for jobs anymore. They can build successful businesses right on their own land through goat farming, agriculture, and innovation. Viewers, this is the real revolution. It's not just about goats. It's about self-reliance and dignity. When work grows, poverty begins to disappear on its own. This is the dream Ibrahim Traoré envisioned for his people. And today that dream is becoming a living reality. Burkina Faso's streets, once filled with a sea of goats, are now glowing with the light of hope and progress. So now we ask you, what do you think? Is this merely an agricultural revolution? Or is there something even deeper? Something the world has yet to understand? Share your thoughts in the comments because your words might become part of our next story. And if you were inspired by this incredible journey, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another shocking and powerful update about Ibrahim Traoré and the new rising Africa.